This is Smooth 98.1. We love music and we love life. We love business as well. On a Feel Good Friday morning, this is Business Express. My name is Ayokunmi, and of course, it's that time to get into a conversation about Tech to Tech Friday. That's what we do every single Friday, talk about the tech space and everything therein. Today isn't going to be any different because we're looking at indigenous monetization platforms for African content creators, basically looking at what it's like for African content creators out there on the various streaming platforms. They're doing great things and making some good money as well. And sometimes I wonder, what am I doing with my time? But anyways, joining me to have this conversation is Rotus. Rotus, good morning to you. Welcome along to the show.
Good morning, Ayo. Good to be with you. And thank Zeus. It is Friday, man. It's time to go and rest.
Yeah, it is very much needed after such a long week of ups and downs and so on and so forth. But
ah.
hey, we're here, we're alive, and we're looking forward to resting this weekend. That one I can assure you, really.
uh,
But before we do, we have one more merry-go-round on Business Express and a whole lot of other things. And yeah, this particular topic we're talking about this morning. So it's an interesting one because I mean, content right now is king. A lot of content makers out there who are doing different things in different niches, and of course, monetizing, making that money. That is what it's all about right now. And what have you observed when it comes to monetization, where African content creators are concerned? Do you think there's any disparity with what foreign or content creators in other parts of the world are actually doing and making and so on?
Well, I actually don't, so Ayo. I know that there are some folks out there that are trying to come up with their own indigenous platforms to try to promote African content creators. But I think that, from my observation, particularly with artists from Northern Africa and other areas, even just your generic content creators that review technology and do unboxing. By the way, the iPhone 16 goes on sale, for instance, today in the United States. I think that they're making money. I think that they're doing pretty well. Because I think the focus really is about the content. If your content is engaging and people
Right.
are tuning into you for whether it's information or just to laugh if you're a comedian or whatever, or you're doing dance videos or jumping on trends, I don't think it matters where you are from, whether you're African or not. If your content hits and you get your payouts from the platform.
Interesting thoughts there. Now, according to some surveys, I mean, they've shown that TikTok, YouTube, Meta, that's X or Twitter, depending on your demographic right now, Instagram as well, are the top paying platforms for creators. What do you make of that survey? Do you agree? Do you have a counter
Yeah.
counter list?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think it makes sense because for it, like, and I got actually some nuggets for almost every one of those companies. So starting with TikTok, they were in courts in the US, I think yesterday or the day before, because remember it was either April or March that the Department of Justice, no, the House of Reps, the Congress basically passed a bill that forces ByteDance to sell off divest TikTok. ByteDance is the parent company in China. So they basically said that if you don't divest, we will ban TikTok in the US. It's a security thing because they claim that the Communist Party of China is using ByteDance through TikTok to spy on users that are here in America and around the world. So the
Hmm.
backlash, you've seen a lot of content creators that came out in mass. They were creating content, making it a trending topic, saying no, don't ban TikTok because you are banning my way of life. So I do agree that based on that survey, because I think there was a research company that talked to about 1,500 or 2,000 creators, and TikTok came out on top. So yes, I agree with that. But real quick, what's X? But Brazil actually fined X $900,000 yesterday because they've been banned. Since we were talking about US trying to ban TikTok, X has been banned in Brazil because there was some issues with, uprisings or riots or whatever. There was a big disinformation campaign with certain accounts on X that were, spreading some, false stuff going on. They asked Elon Musk to
Hmm.
give them the information behind those accounts. He refused. They banned him and said that he'll have to pay some fine. So it turns out that some people were still able to use X the other day, so they hit them with a $900,000 fine. So look, but as far as the monetization is concerned, yes, I agree with that survey that TikTok is number one.
I have to agree because with the number of TikTokers out there who are making all sorts of, content videos and of course raking in all that money, you
Yeah,
just
indeed.
wonder.
Oh, sorry, my bad. One more. Instagram, there was a big issue with child safety. So Instagram, yesterday or the day before, they just rolled out new child safety protections. If you are under the
Okay.
age of 18 on Instagram, your account is automatically private. It's not, how you can just search for somebody. So only people who are
Oh.
already, yeah, that's one. Two, they say that they won't allow notifications between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. so they can go to sleep on time if you're under 18. And then three, this is the one that I'm not sure about. They said that your parents can monitor who sends you DMs if you're under 18. And you know how Americans are with their rights and so on. I don't even know how I would feel if I had a teenage child and I was able to snoop on their Instagram account. But again, the other side of the coin is safety. So that's another bit
Right.
of news coming out from Instagram.
Well, the thing is, to a degree, I can actually understand where that is coming from because
Yeah.
so many creeps out there right now who are preying on younger kids and all that, and it's a very big issue. So I mean, kids might not agree fully with that because I don't think any teenager wants their parents, to be snooping on what it is they're doing in their DMs. But at the same time, kids can be very, very silly, if I can put it that
Right.
way,
Of
and
course. Agreed.
ignore all the good, all the advice and all that. Be careful, this and that. They feel, oh, you're raining on my parade, that sort of thing. So to a
Yeah.
degree, I
Yeah.
can understand where all that is coming
Yeah.
from. Will it be accepted? Will it fly? Well, remains to be seen at the end of the day.
It does.
All our listeners
It
out
does.
there,
Very interesting.
come through and share your thoughts on this particular matter. WhatsApp is right there for you, 08094440981. We're also on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right, let's bring this back home. Back to something you said earlier on about indigenous um African platforms, to cater to African creators. I mean, looking at what already obtains out there in terms of TikTok, YouTube, where creators from Africa and beyond are doing big numbers. Is there a reason, apart from, okay, more money to be made, to have an indigenous, creator, or is there anything else we're looking at in terms of that?
Well, look, I can understand the argument that you want to put a platform forward that caters, mostly to African creators. But what happens if a non-African creator wants to hop on? Do you tell them no? Another thing is that, look, Ayo, you already know the reach of these companies. I mean, TikTok, YouTube, X, Meta, which is Facebook, Instagram. They've got the platform is huge. So the challenge for me would be how those indigenous platforms are able to grow enough to where the African creators can get the same kind of audience that they would on the other giants.
That is a very, very big issue because I mean, if you're going to have any indigenous creator right now, they will be starting at a certain level. Now look at the TikToks of this world, the Instagrams, where they are, they're astronomical right now. So I mean, how long would it take for an indigenous creator to actually get enough traction? I mean, you already have creators who are on those bigger platforms who are doing things.
Right.
So would they want to leave and come onto those platforms? Would they, cross-platform, that sort of thing? There's so many
Exactly.
questions, but we don't
Right.
have all the answers. Now, let's talk about something that I've always thought about, but I've never actually understood fully how it works. Thankfully, we have you on to give us some clarity, and that is monetization. How exactly does it work? I mean, is it basically revenue sharing from ads?
Yeah, so basically, and that is again brings up the conversation around the platforms because these platforms are so big. What didn't Ronaldo just open up a YouTube page and he has like how many he got like how many almost 1 billion subscribers or something like that in less than
Yeah.
24 hours, right? So for everyone who wants to go and see Ronaldo's YouTube page, YouTube is able to charge companies for ads. They can be annoying. I know when I want to watch a video, I don't want to start seeing ads thrown at me, but that's how they make money. So they charge money to those companies who want to see all those eyes that are coming to see one particular style or particular content creator. And then there's a revenue share based on, the agreements that they have already, terms of service in place. So that is it. It's a cycle, and it's all interconnected. If you bring eyes to a platform and you're able to charge ads, you can now revenue share from that ads or those ad revenues with the content creators.
Okay, interesting. Now, you definitely can't beat earning money in US dollars. So how can indigenous platforms probably compete on that front if that were to fly versus, your Metas, your X's, your Instagrams, and so on and so forth?
You have to pay in USD. I mean, that you are competing with other. I mean, Meta is an American company. YouTube is parent is Alphabet, or that's an American company. TikTok is Chinese, but these are the Chinese one is a strong currency. You would, if you're an indigenous platform, whatever it is you're paying would have to be commensurate to what they're getting there. So that's another thing that has to be considered. So that's and that's where the rubber really does meet the road.
Hmm. Excuse me. All right. Now, let's talk about internet penetration because I mean you can't talk about content creation on all these platforms without talking about the internet as well. They go hand in hand, basically. As a challenge for many African nations, aren't African creators at a disadvantage compared to their counterparts in other continents? Or, I mean, from what we've seen, have African creators found a creative way to actually get around those issues?
As we're talking now, the power could go out. I have no idea. Imagine you and I have a podcast and we get on. Okay, we are saying that technically this is a podcast where we get on Zoom and we talk every week. Imagine if there's some breaking news. You and I want to quickly record a podcast, talk about the breaking news. Maybe this Instagram child safety thing now, and we want to record it, put it on YouTube, and put it to our followers. Meanwhile, we have competitors in Spain, in the UK, in the US who are on the same news. NEPA takes lights, we have to start all over again and re-edit it. Meanwhile, our competitors, other podcasts who have power, electricity, internet penetration, all that, they are able to get that out quickly. My internet could fail or yours could fail. So these are the challenges that would make us slow us down in terms of our output and productivity when it comes to the content we're putting out, simply because of these infrastructure challenges. So you can see how we would be behind the curve, having to re-edit, start again, blah, 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 while others who have 24/7 lights, solid internet are moving along.
Now that actually is a big issue, one that definitely needs to be worked out eventually to, should I say, get those on the African continent and even beyond to some level of parity, as it were. Okay, on the final Rotus before we call it the morning on Business Express. I mean, what do you think, or what's your outlook for creator communities in Africa going forward? I mean, like I said, Africans are doing great things, but what do you think is the future?
I think it's healthy. I think it's a positive. We've got many, many young creative people doing so many things, from dance, from tech. I really like the tech guys and girls that are unboxing things. I'm looking forward to all the feedback on the iPhone 16 that's going to come out in the US. And in fact, we're already getting advanced videos. I think it's music. So much of that is going to be they're doing pretty well. And that's why government policies need to support, give them the infrastructure, make access to data affordable. I think it's positive for our youth because there's a lot of juice out there for them to put their creativity on.
Definitely a lot of juice for them to put that creativity on. True story. Thank you so much, Rotus, for joining me on a Feel Good Friday, Tech Friday edition of Business Express. It's been a great week. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you, Ayo. Have a restful weekend. Catch you on Monday, man.
All right, take it easy. And of course, thank you for being a part of Business Express this lovely Friday morning. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast. More great music coming your way as we count down to the headlines in the papers on Freshly Pressed at 7:30.